Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your source for Second Amendment news. I'm here at SHOT Show 2020 with my friend, you know him as the Daily Shooter. We're going to talk about some fantastic stuff coming, hopefully, in California that will benefit everybody in that state.
Okay, so I figured the first thing that we could talk about today would be the second Freedom Week possibly happening in California. I know that's a really big deal. I know a lot of you guys are excited for it. What do you know about what's happening? Do you know anything?
Yeah, so some of the things I can't say 100% yet because there's obviously things that are in motion as we speak. But things are looking good coming down the pike. The judge, as you know, and everybody in California knows, the judge that ruled on Freedom Week 1 is overseeing the case for Freedom Week 2. And they did delay it. They were supposed to have a decision by the 29th of this month, but another case that he was working on ran over. But it will be soon, from what I'm being told.
Yeah, I'm hearing February 6th.
That's what I'm hearing.
So February 6th, it's only an extra week, and you know, like I've been told, the judge rarely rules from the bench, okay? So he's going to hear arguments from both sides about this. He's going to go back, he's going to mill it over, he's going to take his time, just like he did with the magazine ban. That didn't happen instantly either. And then once he makes his decision, he's going to come forward. And that's going to be the biggest thing I think California has ever witnessed. It's going to be massive. I mean, you want to take magazines, California spent how many millions of dollars on magazines?
All of them?
All of them. I mean, everybody ran up their credit cards. People were getting, it was incredible the amount of money that people were sending. So anyway, that was a big deal, but that also helped in making his decision for the stay. So California came in for the stay, and he said because so many magazines were imported during that time period already, that he wanted to make sure that they were grandfathered in going forward to the end of the case. So if this happens, you're going to have to get your ARs because basically the same thing. So California's going to want to come in.
Absolutely.
They're going to want to stay it instantly, right?
Yeah.
And so what you want to do is you want to be able to bring in as many of those ARs as possible so that there is a fight back to say, look, we got all these ARs now, people took off their fin grips, they made their rifles non-compliant, and it's going to cause injury to the public if you revert that after the injunction. So again, I think it's really important for you guys to go out there. I know I'm not like telling you to go, you know, bust yourselves, like, you know what I mean? Don't go into debt.
I'll tell you, get some credit cards now because you're going to need them.
Yeah, be prepared. That's kind of the point, right?
Yeah.
Be prepared. But get those ARs so that you have an argument to say, look, all these people brought in ARs. If you file for a stay, if this stay actually goes through, then you're going to injure these people in some way.
Right.
So financially.
And the good part about this is it also sets the precedent nationwide for killing this stuff nationwide. There are many states that still have AWV variants that they never sunsetted or picked up after the fact. But this ruling, if worded correctly, and I have strong belief that it will be. It will be used in other cases as precedent, or at least judicial notice. Sure. So that could be huge.
Well, think about Virginia. Okay, Virginia is thinking about instituting an assault weapons ban, right? If this case was to rule in our favor, that would essentially be dead in the water, because now there'll be precedent for the circuit courts on the East Coast to be able to have some type of fight in order to overturn it. So let's say that the Ninth Circuit rules in our favor, right? And then maybe it goes up to the Supreme Court doesn't hear it. But then there's a conflicting ruling from another court, another circuit court. Now you have conflicting rulings from two federal circuit courts. That means that it's a higher likelihood that the Supreme Court would actually hear it if it didn't fall in our favor. So again, we want the Ninth Circuit to rule in our favor. That means that even if other circuit courts don't rule in our favor, we have a fighting chance. So all these other states that want to do it, man, we're talking, it's California, yeah, but it affects everybody.
Absolutely, and there's another backdoor approach that we have working for our favor now too, and it's the case that's currently in front of the Supreme Court as we're speaking. That's the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association against versus New York City, and from what I'm told, the court will have 7 chances to rule on this case based off of the argument in front of them. And I've listened to the recordings for the verbal arguments, and it's obvious what the anti-gun justices want. They want to dismiss it as moot because that original law doesn't exist anymore. But the prosecution part was still sticking with it's still a violation of people's rights, and if you rule on this, it will fix the wrong 2 weeks down later if they change the law back, because that's what they did. So New York changed their law so that it didn't technically exist anymore, thinking that they could drop it. Yeah.
So where do we stand on that case?
It's been heard. They're currently mulling it over. The schedule, the Supreme Court takes their time too. They're busy. Yeah. But I'm hearing June-ish. We should hear something about it.
Yeah, that's been one of the things. People ask for updates, but there are certain legal or legislative pages that you can go to that will show you all the updates to a specific case, and you'll notice maybe the last update on a case will be in January, and here we are next January, and maybe it says it was like referred to committee or something, and you're like, it hasn't moved at all. I mean, these people take their sweet time, so
especially Supreme Court. I mean, they'll take a case, it'll be distributed for conference to decide whether they want to take it up, and it could take 6 months before they decide to hear it or not. Yeah. And then, I mean, they have a couple hours where the case is presented in front of them, and then they sit back and they write their 55-page soliloquies on whether they're for or against whatever it is. So it just takes time, and they don't work 40 hours a week. They don't work when it's government, so they take breaks and stuff like that. So that's the delay.
Every holiday is a holiday off.
Yeah,
they don't have to work like we do.
No,
every day. So, is there anything going on in your state, your home state? Well, I know you got a great attorney general there.
Yeah, Massachusetts is it's different.
It is.
I probably have a hit on me from them, but so in Massachusetts, what I'm trying to do right now is you're familiar with what the Second Amendment sanctuary movement has been. It really came to blossom in Virginia, but it's been going on for a year, from Washington State to Illinois to West Virginia. There's places in New Jersey now, Rhode Island that have jumped on. So I've actually submitted a Second Amendment sanctuary ordinance to one of my selectmen in the town that I live in. So I'm trying to make my town the first Second Amendment sanctuary in the history of Massachusetts, even though the entire country is a Second Amendment sanctuary already. Yeah. It's called the Second Amendment, but they want to pretend that doesn't exist. So that's what I'm pushing for in Mass right now.
See, this guy's working for your Second Amendment right here, okay? He's not just making videos, he's working for your Second Amendment. So I'm curious if you're able to get this to go through, there'll obviously be a public session, open public session, right, where people can come check it out.
Yeah,
so that'd be cool.
The way it works is
you guys know if this ever makes it through, make sure you guys show up.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's different. Every town and city and even county government run their stuff different. So if you're interested in getting it done, you can check out, I'll have the links down below on my site. It's gunownersaction.org/SASO, and the ordinance is there. You fill in the blanks and you can submit it in your locality. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do. So what about GOA? I know you kind of speak heavily with GOA. Do they have anything new going on you want to tell people about? Or?
Yeah, there's a lot of big stuff they're coming down the pike with. They're here at the show, and their message is strong. I'll have a couple interviews coming in the next couple days. Put the first one up today is they're going after the NFA hard.
Yeah.
They want to immediately they're going after SBRs, removing them from the NFA. They're also going after suppressors and removing them from the NFA. Yeah. And some other big stuff that they're going to be talking about shortly. But
there's nothing quite like making hearing protection illegal, right? I mean, it just makes sense.
What?
If it protects your hearing, we should make that illegal.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the dumbest laws.
Well, it's a health issue, but the flip side is they think it turns you into a ninja. You can shoot everybody.
Well, that's true. We've all seen John Wick.
Right? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean, when you shoot it, it's perfectly quiet. You never even know he's coming. So, that's good. I know that there's a lot of great people out there. Firearms Policy Coalition, Gun Owners of America. These are the people who you need to be sending your money to, because these are the people that are on the ground actually doing the work. I mean, we could talk about this all day, but these guys actually have the knowledge and their certificates and the education to actually go into court and do something about it. So make sure that you guys check the links in both description boxes and support whatever gun group that you can, because the more money that we send to them, the better likelihood we can actually overturn some of this stuff.
Absolutely. And FPC and GOA are very active in litigation, very active. And just to give you an idea of how much your donations and your membership dues for both agencies help, if the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association ruling comes in our favor, immediately there are going to be hundreds of lawsuits filed to destroy all these anti-gun, gun control, common sense stuff. Immediately. Yeah. And lawyers are expensive. It takes time. And that's where they get the funding, is from us, the membership. Yeah. So if you aren't a member, whether it's FPC, GOA, 2AF, whatever it is, whatever one works for you where you live, join and stand by them, because you are as the member, you are the lifeblood, and you guys get this stuff done.
Yeah, true. So anyway, anything else you want to talk about?
Oh no, man.
So much going on. We could probably stay in here for the next 2 days.
Yeah, no, I'm just happy to hang out with you, man.
It's a shot show, man. It was great to see you. Guys, if you're not, I'm sure you are, but if you're not, please go over and subscribe to Guns and Gadgets. This guy is putting out the best Second Amendment news that you're going to find, and it's not just daily. It's sometimes multiple times per day. So go ahead and follow him on Instagram as well, because he does cross posts and different things like that. So if you want to stay up to date, please go over there and check him out. Honestly, a great guy and a great Second Amendment supporter. So definitely worth a little click of a button.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You have a good one.
You too.
All right.